today, let's go back to talking about food. And specifically, I really want to talk about raw fish. Yeah. This is the raw fish story, but I'll digress back to my history with raw fish. But actually, the whole point of the video is about how do we use leftover poke? What do you do with day-old sushi? Yeah, I have some ideas. Stay tuned. Now, yeah, I grew up in the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes area, right? Now, we had lots of fish around there, but, man, I tell you what, I don't recall anybody ever talking about eating them things raw. Not much, anyway. You know, sometimes we ate them whole, smelt, as a whole fish, like a sardine and stuff, but raw, nah. It wasn't until many, many, many years later. Yes, I was an adult, and I was on North Fork, Main Creek. I believe that's where I was at, in the Flambeau River State Forest in northern Wisconsin. I was with my neighbor, Mikey, who was just an incredible fisherman, yes, and hunter, trapper, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, Mike was deep outdoorsman. I do believe much of what I know I learned from him in that sense. But we were out trout fishing one day. Oh, and the fishing was incredible. Oh, man, we had so many fish. I mean, we're coming right on to limiting out. We're fishing brook trout. And it was, usually the fishing isn't quite that good. It was amazing. But we didn't pack any lunch with us, but didn't want to quit. Getting hungry. Been out there for hours. Well, Mikey reaches in his creel and he pulls out this trout and he fillets and skins it out and hangs a fillet on the end of a fillet knife, sticks it in my face and says, "Here, eat." And I go, "Mike, it's raw." And he says, "Yeah, I know it's raw. It's fine. Don't hurt. Eat." So, really? All right, well, Mikey's the woodsman. This is sort of a male bonding experience in a sense. I'm the disciple here, so okay. And I ate it, and I actually at the time did not realize exactly how delicious it was. Just not used to eating raw fish, and well. Later on, I found myself in the Bay Area, California. Well, I get such a Japanese influence around there that finding excellent sushi in the Bay Area is pretty easy. And, after I met Ellen, she liked the stuff. We'd go out for it. Well, I found that eating raw fish in that form was pretty desirable. I enjoyed it. In fact, at a time, I even discovered that eating cooked ahi is kind of difficult for me. It does not digest as well as raw ahi. It digests like baby food in my system. You cook the ahi, and I have gut problems with it. So, well, later on, I found myself over here in Hawaii, and, well, we're surrounded by fish. They're everywhere. Yeah! Right, this is an island, man. We got more fish than we got cabbages here. Well, one of the favorite ways, and in fact the original recipes over here, poke. It's becoming popular in the mainland now. Many people have tried this. I know at one time it was almost unheard of in the mainland. I think what I remember from youth in the Midwest was, oh yeah, crazy Hawaiians eat raw fish. Yeah, that's what I remember. But boy, I tell you, you can get hooked on that stuff. I love my poke, and there's a variety of different fishes, actually, that I enjoy that way. But leftover poke is a problem. Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, this dish is so sensitive that if you're making poke out of ahi, for instance, ahi tuna, well, you're going to want to acquire your tuna as fresh as possible. Hopefully you got it from the guy who caught it, and he got it that morning or something. So you're getting a really good fresh piece of fish. And then when you go ahead and cut the stuff up, well, you're going to go ahead and end up with so much you'll put part of it in the freezer. Well, it didn't take me too long to discover that the poke that was made from tuna that I just brought into the kitchen was just excellent. Incredible. Okay. But if I took the same fish and I froze that fish and I took it back out later and made the same dish, same recipe, never as good. Now, it's very subtle, really. Yeah, it's pretty subtle, but you can tell. And so that's kind of in a way how delicate this whole dish is. You know, it's like they talk about half-price day-old sushi. Forget it. Yeah, which is another problem. You know, what do you do with day-old sushi? I have an idea there, too. But, yeah, so then the second day, whereas the poke is actually still edible at that point, most of us really would rather not eat it. Not after we had it the day before. And so it's actually one of the tortilla manufacturers on Oahu that, for a change, a TV commercial that gave me a great idea. Yeah, Sinaloa, that's the name of them. They have some really good TV commercials because they use their product in the commercials and show you maybe how you might make your life better using their tortillas or chips or something. Well, yeah, a guy was taking leftover poke, raw, and putting it inside corn tortillas. Now, you know, you warm the tortilla so it folds well. You lay your tortilla in the pan for a moment, and so that it becomes flexible. Put your poke in there, fold it back over, you know, and then lay them in the pan with a little bit of oil in the bottom, some olive oil or something good, and kind of crisp them a little bit on both sides, you know, like, boy, till the fish is just done. Yeah, when the fish is just done, just turning in the center from having been raw poke to being a cooked fish taco, it's amazing. Yes, they're almost the best fish tacos I ever eat. Yeah, really. So you might want to try that one. Turning your leftover poke into fish tacos. Thumbs up, man. And thank you to the tortilla guys that gave me that idea. I often am more annoyed by TV commercials than enriched. That was an experience. Well, then yesterday I tried a new experiment with leftover poke. This time we had Tombo. This was from albacore tuna. Ellen has developed a fondness for that particular fish. And so she brought some fresh stuff home, and I made poke from it. Well, of course, then we got a little bit left over. I keep trying to get it so I don't have leftover raw fish, but never works. There's always something there. Well, it wasn't enough to make tacos with, so I looked at it, and well, I'd had it cut, you know, about the size of a dice, you know. Right. It's about that cube size. Well, I said, you know, I was thinking about, was it McDonald's chicken nuggets? Yeah. So I took, like shake and bake. But any type of coating really would do, or make your own. You know, you can go all the way on out to using panko or whatever. Doesn't matter. Dixie fry, some coating. I happen to have used the original shake and bake type, and I just put it in a plastic bag, tossed the cubes in there, and shook that stuff till they were well coated. And then I took them and put them in my air fryer, and till they got, no, it was maybe about 10 minutes, roughly about 10 minutes in the air fryer. They got nice and crispy on the outside, just cooked in the middle, and I had some leftover cocktail sauce that I'd made around. So I served these tuna nuggets with cocktail sauce, and well, everybody sitting around the table approved. I say they were pretty darn good. So, recipe number 2 for how do you use up your raw poke, day old. Yeah, I don't make sushi too much, but every now and then I will do that. Learning to eat seaweed was. Yeah, that's another one, man. Oh, I remember staying with my buddies up in Alaska one time, and they had a big storm, and there was stuff washed up all over the beaches by Homer on the Spit, and there's Korean ladies walking around with baskets, and they're picking up seaweed, And I go, hey, Alex, what the heck are they doing? He says, oh, man, they're harvesting sea lettuce. Yeah. I said, yeah, okay, so what? Well, they eat it, Eat it? That's tough. Are you kidding me? Eating seaweed. I eat all sorts of seaweed today. Yes, I do. And I find it's good for me, for the most part. It will certainly solve any mineral deficiencies you happen to have if you eat it regularly. But I digress. So, leftover sushi, we usually make too much of it. And so, I know I've been in sushi restaurants before where they show this tempura deep fried sushi, and that's kind of like I was always, it's raw fish. We're here for the fish, the deep fried. Well, that sounds more like McDonald's French fries. Well, I decided if I made roll sushi, I'd leave the last couple rolls whole. I wouldn't cut them. Put them away in the fridge right away. Next day, take them out, cut them. Get a pan with hot oil going, about, maybe to the knuckle or so. Need a little bit in there so you can do this. It's kind of a semi-deep fry. And then make up a tempura recipe, and dip the sushi in it. Throw them in the hot fat and have deep fried, day-old, leftover tempura battered sushi, which is absolutely delicious because it cooks the fish. It's a good recipe for that batter. If you want an easy one, 1 cup of flour, 1 can of beer. That's it. Mix them together, dip the stuff in it, throw it in the pan. So there you go, folks. There's my ideas today on how do you use up raw fish and a little bit of Bill's weird history about eating fish and seaweed. Okay. Hang loose. Aloha. It's starting to rain.